us pray. Let us pray. Almighty God, we bow down before Thee in humble obedience and dependence. We pray Thee grant us the grace to respect each other this day in all our consultations, that our deliberations today shall take place in the spirit of mutual trust, so that we as leaders shall lead our country on the path of peace and shall find solutions for issues and problems facing us. Grant us the mercy, O Lord, that we shall today also honor Thy name in all we think, do, and say. Almighty God, we pray Thee, bless our land and all its people. This all we pray in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Affirmation. I solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of Namibia and its people, and I solemnly promise to uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Namibia to the best of my ability. Are there any messages from the head of state? Any petitions? Reports of standing or select committees? Other reports and papers? Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, very good afternoon. I lay upon the table, in terms of Rule 222 of the Standing Rules and Orders, reports of the Auditor General on the accounts of the Carrefour Board of Namibia for the financial year ending 31st March 2024, Village Council of Leonardville for the financial year ending 30th June 2020, 2021 and 2022, compliance audit report of the Auditor General on an assessment on the legal framework and awarding contracts and licenses gold mines within the Ministry of Mines and Energy for the financial years 2020-21, 2021-22, and 2022-23. Livestock and Livestock Products Board of Namibia for the financial year ended 31st March 2024. Municipality of Marienda for the financial year ended 30 June 2024. Namibian Broadcasting Corporation for the financial year ended 31st March 2023, and then Namibia Student Financial Assistance Fund for the financial year ended 31st March 2024, Village Council of Okongo for the financial year ended 30 June 2023, Omaheke Regional Council for the financial years ended 31st March 2021 and 2022, and Town Council of Oraniemund for the financial year ended 30 June 2023. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, may the Honorable Minister please table the report. Any other reports? Notices of questions? Honorable Sheundo Dinge.
The mic is here. The mic.
Oh. Oh, sorry, Honorable. May you please allow, whose mic is on now? It's Honorable Shitana, no?
Yes.
Okay, Honorable Shitana, you have the floor.
Honorable members, I hereby give a note that on Thursday, June 26, 2025, I shall ask the Honorable Minister of Finance, Elika Shafuda, the following. In accordance with the municipal bylaw, municipalities such as City of Windhoek requires institutions that are registered and operating in the jurisdiction to obtain fitness and certificates. The purpose of certificate is to ensure that those institutions meet the acceptable and standard of as far as issue of health, safety, and etc. are concerned, in order to allow them to conduct business. Certain categories of business, especially the ones that are operating in the hospitality industry, requires to have public toilets, facilities. Funny enough, the commercial banks do not have public toilets. They don't have those facilities. Customers sometimes spend a lot of time in those queues in the bank, which is also gives a necessity for restroom access, responding to the call of nature, particularly at the place serving in the public is not a matter of luxury, it's not a fashion, it's not politics, it's not ideology. It is even worse for a person with disabilities. So, honorable members, honorable ministers, I'm a very, very big fan of the bank. And I'm a big client of the banks. So, and I haven't used any of those facilities since I opened my bank account. So, and I have been traveling all over. I have been in different places whereby, just to mention a few, here at Greenwell, there's a branch there for Standard Bank. If you are to find in that bank seeking their service, and the nature calls, you will be harder to find where you can help yourself. If we are to go to Enana, none of them, except those that are very lucky to be in the mall. There are those that are on a standalone. They need to have those facilities. I would therefore like to ask the Honorable Minister the following. How many banks have toilets for their customers? How many did those banks acquire? How did those banks acquire their fitness certificates? As an institution that serves hundreds of customers on a daily basis, why are commercial banks not required to have public facilities? So I so submit.
Yeah, may the honorable member please take the questions. Thank you. I now recognize Honorable Lizazi. Honorable Lizazi, okay.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 26th June 2025, I shall ask the Minister, the Minister of Justice and Labor Relations, Honorable Wise Emmanuel, the following. The Namibian Constitution states in Article 66, Sub-Article 1, that both the customary laws and the common laws of Namibia in force on the date of independence shall remain valid to the extent to which such customary or common law does not conflict with this Constitution or any other statutory law. To make sure that the above stipulation is relevant, the Traditional Authority Act number 25 of 2000 and the Community Code Act number 10 of 2003 were enacted to provide for the recognition and establishment of community courts. These community courts are the first and sometimes the only forum of justice the rural communities have. Community courts, justices go through hardship such as transport to and from the traditional authority establishments, and these are old people, they are aging. Housing shortage, dilapidated community court buildings. Sometimes our old people, they held their deliberations and adjudicate under trees. Disappointing, to mention only a few. In this light, I therefore ask the Honorable Minister of Justice and Labor Relations the following questions. 1. What is the ministry doing to preserve our traditional laws to make them form part of the Namibian jurisprudence? Number 2, traditional authorities have rendered on their mandate of promoting peace and welfare amongst the members of the Namibian communities they serve. When is the government going to remunerate them a living wage instead of a mere 1,000 allowance they currently receive? Number 3, what is the ministry doing to alleviate the hardship experienced by our community courts? Number 4, why is Section 17 of the Traditional Authority Act a one-way traffic, especially with NAMPOL officers? Community court justices are not well protected because Namibian police stations are very far from the Traditional Authority establishment. They only get people who are not trained, they don't even know how to use guns, they only have sticks to protect them when they are adjudicating. They don't have a police officer. Before independence, the police officers used to be at the traditional authorities. They used to be there. Why are they not there now? What happened? How is the Honorable Minister intending to assist traditional authorities in matters such as support infrastructures, training for both justices and office administrators in legal record keeping, and more training on traditional laws from community court justices? I will equally ask the following question again to Honorable Minister of Justice and Labor Relations, Honorable Wise Emmanuel, the following again. The minimum hourly wage for security guards in Namibia has been set at $13.50, effectively 1st January 2025. This rate will increase, or is going to increase, to $16 per hour on the 1st January 2026 and $18 the following year. This change is part of an amendment to the National Minimum Wage Order, according to the Namibian Minister of Justice and Labor Relations. Reports from all over the country of security companies failing to honor the gazetted minimum wage of $13.50 per hour has saturated the news agencies in our country. I therefore would like to ask the Honorable Minister the following. What mechanisms has been put in place to enforce this wage requirement with labor inspectors not capacitated enough in the regions? When are we going to see security company owners prosecuted or stripped of their licenses to operate in Namibia? When are you going to table legislation amendment that will restrict a family from owning 2 security companies in different names while clients pay the same family? It's a reality, it's happening in this country. Workers' unions representing security guards take long to open labor cases and don't open labor cases at all. This is according to NBC TV News, 13th June 2025. What will the Honorable Minister do in this regard? I will equally ask the same Minister the following. I give notice that on Thursday, 26 June 2025, I shall ask the Minister of Justice and Labor Relations, Honorable Wise Emmanuel, the following question. Of recent, we have been hit with so many reports of mining companies retrenching hundreds of workers. Surprisingly, we don't see these retrenched workers in our streets and villages because they are absorbed by the subcontractors to go and do the same work they were doing for low wages or peanuts with zero benefits such as medical aid, pension, etc., etc. In this background, I therefore would ask the Honorable Minister the following questions. What will the Honorable Minister do to address this sad reality our workforce is going through? When is the labor hire going to see its end in this country? Doing business on another human being is not good at all. Can the Honorable Minister furnish this August House on how the Labor Act 11 of 2007 regulate basic condition of employment for individuals employed by labor hire companies? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Please table the questions. I now recognize Honorable Mbinge.
Thank you once again, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 26 June 2025, I shall ask the Minister of Urban and Rural Development, Honorable James Takonsa, the following. In Windhoek and all other towns in our country, street vendors normally face harassment and aggressive crackdowns by municipal police and law enforcement authorities. These operations often result in the confiscation of their goods, forced eviction from trading spots, and in some cases, arrest. This ongoing conflict underscores a deeper structural tension between the need of informal economic survival and the enforcement of our urban regulatory and formalization policies. While municipal bylaws are often cited to justify this action, they frequently disregard the socio-economic realities facing vendors, many of whom turn into trade as a last resort of their life. Therefore, I wish to ask the Honorable Minister the following. What steps in the government taking to review and to harmonize municipal bylaws with the constitutional rights of citizens, particularly the right to dignity and economic participation for formal traders? Has the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development conducted any recent assessment on the current laws and frameworks unjustified criminalize poverty and informal economic survival? Given the high national unemployment rate, what long-term strategies does the government have to integrate informal vendors into the formal economic without resorting to a punitive crackdowns? What oversight mechanisms are in place to ensure that law enforcement action against street vendors are conducted lawfully and humanely? What measures are being taken to protect the human right of informal traders, particularly vulnerable groups such as women and youth, who dominate the street vendor sectors? In conclusion, what role are local authorities expected to play in supporting rather than punishing informal traders as part of broader efforts to stimulate local economics? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Honorable Ampanda, there is one more person, one last person to ask a question, and then you have the floor. Honorable Lukato.
Honorable Speaker, members of the Parliament, and the leaders of various political parties, good day. Thank you very much for the floor. I give, Honorable Speaker, I give notice that on Thursday, 26 June 2025, I shall ask the Honorable Right Prime Minister, Lee Jangorare, the leader of the government ruling party in the National Assembly, the following questions. Honorable Right Prime Minister, I rise today on Wednesday, the 18th of June 2025, in order to pose questions regarding the serious element of higher profile crime, which, please, can you give me time to it? Please, silence.
You must give Honorable Lukato time.
Honorable Right Prime Minister, I raised today on Wednesday, the 18th of June 2025, in order to pose questions regarding the serious element of higher crime, which started as a normal crime, and today it has become a profile called corruption, and eventually become as known as sin today. This sinful element does not exist in the Republic of Namibia only, but globally. We have citizens who residing within the country of Namibia with a population of 3 million. Within this population, we have the majority of unemployment poor, marginalized and rich citizens. Now, my questions are as follows. If the crime of corruption has been detected and developed in the local authorities and regional councils of Namibia's government structures since 1990, when we got independence, there are quite a number of pending cases without any solution, while some culprits are known, but no action has been taken so far against those culprits involved. While those in the above mentioned government structures are being silent on these matters, who are, which we call corruption elements, my question is, who's supposed to take action in the regional and the local authorities, councils, where there is appointed governors and the chairpersons elected by the electorates? Number 3, the last question. Is both local authority and the regional council, line ministry and the office of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, my relative brother, as well as office of the Anti-Corruption Commission, has failed to take action and failed to suspend or to open cases against culprits involved, then who is supposed to take the action against such corrupt activity where state funds and the properties are being stolen, misused, and they went missing without trace? As a result of this, Namibian citizens end up living in poverty, and the country's resources are being wasted. So eventually, the country's economy is in coma stage. What is the way forward in this situation, Honorable Right Prime Minister? I submit.
You may submit the questions, Honorable Member. Very good. Thank you, Honorable Lucato. Now, Honorable Ampanda wanted to rise on a point of privilege. I think he said you have the floor.
So Speaker, we want to be in compliant with the rules always, and we don't want to end up being into problems. Because maybe the Speaker will say you were absent. There's a list that the officials of Parliament are circulating, and that list is passing by us. We also wanted to sign so that we are. It seems that Parliament is taking a register of our attendance here. Or is it SWAPO? Oh, so they need to see whether you are here and sign every day. Okay. Okay, thank you very much for the question. So you have to sign every day so that it can go to the headquarters. Oh my God.
Honorable Ampanda.
So backbenchers, you can't be free to, you must. You are answering yourself. You are the one who's answering. I asked the Speaker. They're answering.
There was a point of order, then I think you got your answer.
No, I'm on a point of a privilege. Take the rules.
Yes.
Read the rules. I'm on a point of privilege.
Remember, can you let him finish and then I give you the floor?
Sit down. You're here.
He's on a point of order. He's on a point of order. Honorable, I'll give you the floor. Just one moment. I think the Honorable Ampanda is almost finished. He got his
absolutely.
answer.
Yes. Oh, thank you very much.
He's now going to take his seat, isn't it?
I was distracted, but
Okay.
I thought in that distraction they are helping you because I don't want to be in trouble with you, Speaker.
Okay.
That's
so
why I'm
now
saying
the honorable members,
I'm
I just
almost
want to warn the honorable members.
Yes.
Please don't answer Honorable Ampanda when he's asking a question. Allow
About your
him to finish
headquarters.
asking
Yes.
and take his seat, and then he will be answered according to the rules. Ne? Okay, Honorable Ampanda.
Okay,
please.
so Speaker, so this is we are new. The induction took place, so we are very much afraid of finding ourselves on the other side. So when that list circulates, when when we receive official correspondence. Is a point of privilege.
Honorable member. Honorable members. The honorable member is on a point of order on the question of privilege. So he's on a point of order. Let him finish.
Please sit down. The Honorable Speaker told you to sit down. The Honorable Speaker said sit down. The Honorable Speaker said sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down. We can all do what we want if that's the case. No, the Speaker told you to sit down. If you don't respect the Speaker, you can James. Respect the Speaker. James. Sit down. Then you can cry. You just sit down. The Speaker said sit down. The Speaker said sit down. What do? Sit down.
To that we all have something to say, and I will give the floor to all of you. Let us take turns. Yes. To take the floor. Yes. Let the honorable member finish, and then I'll give Honorable Werikwa, yes. And then I'll give Honorable Wahekwa Herunga. Okay.
So, Speaker,
okay,
in this Parliament,
yeah.
Just that they are just disturbing me, Speaker. I was about to finish, then now I lose my train of thought. So, Speaker, in this Parliament, we receive official correspondences through the officials like that. Particularly documents from the office of a speaker, and then, for example, the documents for a meeting that we took place this morning, they were distributed similarly. It obviously goes without saying that when the officials of Parliament distribute lists, we would assume that that's a list for the House, for Parliament. And we don't want to be in trouble with the Speaker. We also want to sign so that the Speaker doesn't say we don't attend. So the officials are discriminating. Because I said, please bring, I want to sign also so that I don't fall into trouble with the Speaker. So please, Speaker, are we taking attendance register? Although the public and everyone can see that we're already here, are we taking attendance register? Did you authorize some attendance register so that we can also sign? Or what is going on? That's why I'm saying it's a point of privilege. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much. You may not take this. Honorable Werikwa.
The devil is a liar. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, of course, I have taken note of the submission as a point of privilege from my Honorable Amupanda. Of course, I do also understand that I wanted to enrich his own understanding that as a former member of Swabo Party that he is in fact very keen to be on the list that is circulating. However, we want to inform that due to good governance architecture that the system have put in place as far as Swabo Party is concerned, ours is to ensure. Speaker, can you protect me? It's point of privilege. Thank you. Secondly, Honorable Speaker,
2 minutes each.
The other issue also, Honorable Speaker, as we are here being diverse political parties, cognizance must be taken of the fact that due to the limited number of seats that certain political parties have, it is a round robin where through a cell phone they can be able to tally how many members are there. So those issues are limitations. Thirdly, I want to submit, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member have been portraying signs and symptoms of a somehow disoriented mental state. I am just submitting that we need to bring breathalyzers in this house to ensure that we don't dance in the house, because it's unparliamentary to dance in the house. Thank you very much, and I yielding the balance of my time to the Deputy
I give the
General.
floor to Honorable
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, Honorable Member, can you withdraw that one? Oh, okay, can the Honorable Member withdraw that one? Okay. Honorable, withdraw.
Okay, I unconditionally withdraw the mental state.
Very good, very
but
good.
I stand at my point of a breathalyzer. When
Okay,
you're portraying symptoms of a human being who's not supposed to be in the parliament, it's required that the breathalyzer must be brought to the house. I still submit, Speaker. I withdraw, Mupata. Thank you very much. Unconditionally. The part of the mental state, not the breathalyzer. The breathalyzer must come. The breathalyzer must come. We need to check certain things.
Honorable members, we are disrupting the proceedings of the House. We are disrupting the proceedings of the House. So the next person was Honorable Werikwa. But if the lights that I'm seeing are intended to continue the discourse that just started here, I will exercise my right as a presiding officer to not give the floor anymore, because that is disorderly conduct, honorable members. That's disorderly conduct. No, I just wanted to respond to the question that was posed by Honorable Ampanda to say we will establish what it was that was going on, and then we will give feedback. I think we are done with that one. Yeah. Then we proceed. Notices of questions we were with. Any further notice of questions? Yes, Honorable Member. Honorable, it says 93.
No.
So Secretariat, I told you that we must have the list of members. Now here it says 93.
That is the weakness of Secretariat.
So, Honorable, may I ask what your name is?
I'll introduce myself. Honorable Likando Rodrick, the Shadow Minister of Environment and Tourism.
Honorable who?
Likando Rodrick.
Okay, now I can't hear the Honorable Member. You may proceed.
All right, I can repeat. Honorable Likando Rodrick, the Shadow Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the floor given. I rise to ask the urgent oral question to the Honorable Minister of Environment, Forest and Tourism. Honorable Minister, I have read with interest an article published by The Economist recently, which highlighted the ministry's brief achievement over the last 2 months and the challenges identified which the Honorable Minister intends to rectify moving forward. Honorable Minister, with the recent introduction of the visa application on arrival, especially to the industrial countries like the United States of America, I just want to find out from the Honorable Minister what has been the impact of that reform or of this introduction in terms of numbers of arrivals of our visitors compared to the preceding years to date. In the same vein, Honorable Minister, any reform or any initiative that is introduced to the tourism sector, especially when it targets our visitors, it must be introduced with ease to ease the arrival of our visitors. But then we are informed through media reports that there has been an unwanted delay to the international airports when our visitors arrive. There is sort of an unwanted delay that prolongs their stay in those airports. So I just want to find from the Honorable Minister, is this true that this initiative has also brought sort of a delay instead of easing the arrival of our visitors? In the same vein, Honorable Minister, the Namibian newspaper dated the 15th of June 2025 reported that several members of the Namibian Tourism Board have pocketed 2 million in travel allowances in 5 months, with some directors allegedly ranking in between 300,000 and 600,000 this year. Can the Honorable Minister confirm the accuracy of this claim? If they are factual, what measures are being taken to ensure transparency and accountability for the use of funds within the Namibian Tourism Board? What specific benefits have been realized for the tourism sector as a result of this travel? Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. To reply.
Speaker of the Assembly and honorable members, thank you for the question from my shadow. I am even surprised, shadow normally don't speak. Yes. With evolving technology, everything is possible, and I appreciate that very much. Yes, you have asked 3 questions: the impact of the visa, that tourists and travelers are queuing for long queues at the airport. Yes, as you know that despite us that most of the travelers that are coming to Namibia, they come for tourism purposes, but if you are very well versed and if you are a Namibian, you know very well the issuing of visas does not really rest in the ministry which I serve. Yeah, but no, let me just answer and then you can come up with your follow-up question. Yeah, that is also something that we, as a ministry, we are discussing, and you have seen that recently there were some statistics that were shared by the Ministry of Home Affairs in terms of the waiting period, and it's not something that the ministry is also taking it like for granted. It's something that we are looking at and see what measures we can come up with. With every new introduction, sometimes you don't foresee all the challenges. And if challenges crops up, that is when you think of amicable solutions to those challenges. I think for the 2 questions that you asked, that is the answer. For your 3rd questions, which has to do with NTB, which I think, based on the article that was on the Namibian on the 15th of June 2025, where 2 million was being used by the board members. And that question requires thorough investigation, and I will kindly ask you to put that question in writing. Thank you.
Very good. Yes, thank you. Notices of questions, or notices of motions. Yes, Honorable Lukato. Okay, Honorable Lukato.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, members of Parliament, and leaders of all political parties. I raised to ask an oral question to my relative right Prime Minister, Honorable right Prime Minister. The following question, because you know, people of Namibia is one of academic, very brilliant, and also, you know, when it comes to the academic. This question is as follows. In Namibia, on the earth, on the ground, then from there, just on the above, yeah, above, not in heaven, but above. Yes. So, yes. Now, corruption, where does it start? Whether it starts from the grassroots, it go upwards, or it starts from the top level, and then it comes downwards, and they grow parallel to the surface of the ground. So which means, where does this corruption come from? Yes. Thank you so much, Honorable. I submit.
Yes, okay. Oh, Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, my relative. Thank you, Comrade Speaker. Whether it starts from above here, or in the middle, or on the ground, I think, Honorable, my relative, I think we are all agreed, as our president said during the sauna, but also at the swearing in. She said corruption is treason. So whether it starts here, between heaven and earth, or from the feet, it is treason. So I'm aligned with your view, which I think is a condemnation all of us feel about it, whether it is happening in Omas or wherever it is happening. So it is also the duty of all of us, including my relative, wherever such reports surfaces, we must be able to nip it in the bud. And we must not sugarcoat it. We must be direct with it. So, and you have asked, I think, an elaborate question, which question we will also answer. But the duty is on all of us. Because if all of us say that wherever we see corruption and we report it, then nobody, whether it is a public institution, nobody should sleep on duty when it comes to corruption. And I think that is, for my relative, nothing will happen above, nothing will happen under, if all of us take decisive action and make sure that we root it out. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm rising for the question of privilege, and also I want to read Rule 73, Sub-Rule 4. For the purpose of Sub-Rule 2E, being properly attired, for a male member means a formal executive suit or a pair of long trousers, a shirt with or without a necktie and jacket, or traditional attire, or safari suit with long or short sleeve. Full stop, nothing more. So I just wanted to know whether it's a parliamentary for the Right Honorable Prime Minister to be in that attire. Which tradition in this country? Which one?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lizazi. Your point is noted. I'm sure the Prime Minister has noted, isn't it? Okay. Then, yes. What are we supposed to do? Huh? It's noted. What? No, it is noted. Answer what? It's in the rules. It's in the rules. And it's not disputed. It's not disputed. It's noted. Yeah. No, you don't have the floor, Honorable. I have a Honorable Kalola on the list. No, I have made the ruling. I have made the ruling, Honorable Member. It is not necessary for... No, I didn't give you the floor. No, I didn't give you the floor. I did not give you the floor. No, please take your seat. I have not given it to you. You can't stand up and ask for the floor while you are on your feet. No, you are not giving the floor. So I have already ruled on that point to say we debate the issue if it's argued. If somebody says, no, I don't agree with you, then we argue it. But if there is no argument and we are all agreed and the rules are very clear, what is there to argue? There is nothing. So I rule on that issue. Your point is in order. It's noted. Yes. And then we proceed with Honorable Karola.
This is a notice of motion, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, you may please.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give the notice that on Tuesday, the 1st of July 2025, I shall move that. Honorable Speaker, the age of consent under Namibian laws is 16 years. And this means that at 16, a 16-year-old can become a mother lawfully. I know you passed 16, but just listen. They can be involved in sexual activities and be fathered even by somebody that is 70. They can acquire a national document, ID. Furthermore, they are also allowed to make a will. Apart from that, at 16, lawfully, you are also allowed to have a learner's driver's license. Even though you can be accompanied by a licensed driver, you are still on a public road where everybody is. Moreover, according to Article 20 of the Namibian Constitution, a 16-year-old is allowed to make a decision to leave school or not. But astonishingly, you are not allowed to vote. Only a person at the age of 18 is allowed to vote. This means that while a 16-year-old can legally consent to sexual activity and do many other things, they are still considered, they are still not considered adults in other legal contexts, such as voting. A study of young voters' behavior showed them to be as capable as older voters to articulate their beliefs and to make voting decisions appropriate for their preferences. It is therefore submitted that this Assembly discusses and resolve to reduce the voting age from 18 years to 16 years old. In reference to what I've mentioned previously, that the motion be referred to the relevant parliamentary standing committee, I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Can the honorable member please table the notice? So that's a notice of a motion, eh? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Now we are still on notices of motions. Any further? I see some lights on. Okay. Honorable Hangula.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, honorable members of the House. I hereby give notice that on Tuesday, July 1st, 2025, I shall move that since this year is an election year, and since our first democratic election in 1989, under the guidance of the United Nations, our country has held regular presidential, national assembly, as well as regional council and local authority elections to allow citizens to take part in the democratic process and vote for leaders that they choose for themselves. These elections are held separately every 5 years. Having noted that the logistical, financial, and administrative burdens of holding multiple separate elections, and recognize the growing call for from various stakeholders, including civil society, political parties, citizens for the consolidation of the electoral calendar, and also while acknowledging the potential benefits of harmonizing all major elections into one single event. For example, the reduced costs that this will bring us, an increase, a potential increase voter turnout, improve administrative efficiency, and strengthen democratic participation. These elections cost us an estimated 500 million each, meaning together they cost us over 1 billion Namibian dollars. I move that this House discuss and resolve for the establishment of a single national election every 5 years, thereby ensuring adequate public consultation, including engagements with all stakeholders. I further move that
the motion be referred to the relevant parliamentary standing committee for discussion and thorough investigation and for reporting to this House. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Very good. May the member please table the motion. I now recognize Honorable Kambala. Honorable members, you must wait for the presiding officer to give you the floor. But you may now take the floor.
Okay.
Yeah? But you wait to be called upon. Okay.
Thank you, Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Tuesday, July the 1st, 2025, I shall move that the Anti-Corruption Commission is an independent agency established by an Act of Parliament, the Anti-Corruption Act of 2003, Act number 8 of 2003, to combat and prevent corruption in Namibia. It is mandated to be the leading agency that investigates corruption offences and ensures that offenders are brought to justice. The manner in which the head of the ACC or the leadership thereof is appointed brings the impartiality and independence of this key government institution into question. Whereas both the Namibian Constitution and the Acts provide for the appointment of the leadership of the ACC, regrettably, there is no clear outline procedure of how the President nominates candidates to the National Assembly. I therefore move that this Assembly discusses, resolves, and provide direction on the ACC and the appointment of its Director General and Deputy Director General, amongst others. That the motion be referred to the relevant parliamentary standing committee for thorough investigation and to make recommendations to this House. I so move, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. May the member now table the motion, please. Are there any ministerial statements? Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members of this August House, I rise today to inform this August House that the Ministry of Agriculture, Fishery, Water and Land Reform has taken note of the recent resignation of the chairperson of the Board of Directors of the Meat Corporation of Namibia, which is commonly known as Meatco. Meatco remains a critical public enterprise in the livestock and meat industry in Namibia. As we all know, the objectives of Meatco are well aligned with the national agricultural agenda, particularly in promoting the interests of Namibian livestock producers, both in communal and commercial areas, while at the same time seeking to stabilize the red meat industry for the best interests of the country, thereby contributing to the broader socio-economic development. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, since assuming office a little over 5 weeks ago, the ministry, together with the Ministry of Finance and the Office of the Attorney General, has been seeking appointment with the Board of Directors of Meatco to deliberate on key matters of national interest concerning the corporation. Unfortunately, despite mutual efforts, the parties were unable to find a mutually suitable date and time for such a meeting to take place. Up until yesterday, we were in conversation with Meatco to confirm the suitable time for Friday. We were therefore disappointed to learn that the chairperson of the board has decided to resign. A letter to the Honorable Minister of Finance was also copied to myself on Friday, and I did speak with the chairperson to try and convince him to wait until our meeting takes place, but he had already made up his mind. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the government and the ministry in particular continue to view Meatco as a strategic enterprise through which we can achieve our key objective insofar as value addition to meat and marketing strategies is concerned. I therefore believe, together with my colleague in the Ministry of Finance, that with the right support and effective execution of its mandate, Meatco can play a transformative role in enhancing the livelihoods of livestock producers in all parts of Namibia, that Meatco can contribute to employment creation opportunities as well as skills development, thus increasing the much needed agricultural sector contribution to our GDP. I would therefore like to assure this House, honorable members, that the ministries that have been mandated to speak with Meatco Board of Directors remains committed to supporting the turnaround and sustainability of Meatco so that it can continue to deliver on its key mandate to the benefit of the Namibian people. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, thank you very much. I just wanted to assure this House that we remain committed to ensure the sustainability of Meatco. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Are there questions on the statement of the Minister? Honorable Ampanda. Honorable Ampanda.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Minister. Very good to see you taking charge of the affairs. And this has been repeated by government for a lot of time. You will discover that in your ministry, particularly when it comes to things such as agriculture, there's a lot of contradictions. Now, you are saying in your statement that there's such thing as National Agricultural Agenda to which Meatco is contributing. But your own records in your own ministry speaks about disparity. It speaks about two economies in our country. Yeah, that's the first. So when you speak about the National Agricultural Agenda that Meatco is championing, your ministry factually have already determined that agricultural agenda is divided into two. So the idea of reform thereof is to bring about one agricultural agenda. So firstly, I'm also just raising to say, so that we don't create that impression as if Meatco is pursuing some sort of something called National Agricultural Agenda. There isn't anything like that. Related to that, Minister, you would know and you realize very soon that agriculture is the largest employer by body count. Yeah? Agriculture is the largest employer by body count. But interestingly, at the same time, agriculture's contribution to our country's GDP is only 6%. Of that 6%, this meat industry thing that we are talking about only account for less than 2% of that 6% of our GDP. So Windhoek as a city contributes more to our GDP than agriculture as a whole, while at the same time being the greatest contributor. So whenever we are hearing this about such thing as called National Agricultural Agenda, it's very, very, it actually agitates some of us because such a thing doesn't exist. But when government is saying we are doing this to achieve it, thus we support the government to achieve a National Agricultural Agenda. But once the minister says that Meatco and the National Agricultural Agenda, which doesn't exist, on one hand, yesterday we were supporting you because you are saying this is a problem, this is what we want to address. We are together. Because you want to move towards a National Agricultural Agenda contributed by Meatco and other institutions like this. But then the following day you say Meatco is contributing to something and you are saying we are working on it. It's very, very problematic. You also spoke about the best interest of the meat industry. Minister, Meat Board was established between the 1970s and 1980s. Until now, 35 years after independence, Meat Board only have one office in Windhoek. Doesn't have an office anywhere 35 years after independence. Even, what is this thing? What is the man of the minis? The minis. Even these mini markets have places everywhere. Lani. Yeah. You know very well because Rani does a lot of funding, so I'm saying you know, that's why I'm giving that example. He funds those activities. So even Rani has markets everywhere, but Meat Board, a regulator, doesn't have offices anywhere, just here in Windhoek. But it says that 60% more, your ministry says that more than half of the cattle population in Namibia is in the northern part of our country, from Kauko to Zambezi. But this Meat Board, 35 years, it doesn't even see a need to have an office in Kauko or in Zambezi. But there is apparently something called best interest of the meat industry. Those are serious contradictions, Minister. Very serious material contradictions. I advise that this terminology might be very problematic because at one point you have convinced us we are together and you lose us when you create an impression that there is no problem. Because there is a white controlled and white owned meat industry. And the government has been saying that you want to do away with that. So lastly,
Honorable Bemba, you make your questions.
Specific.
It must be questions and brief.
Thank you, Speaker. Yeah. Lastly, Minister, this Meatco thing is going to be a problem. Yeah? We will support black people to be empowered and to get into positions, but not at the expense of our institutions. The CEO is a wonderful young man. Well, he's maybe in his 40s now. I'm not sure whether he's young. I'm also not young anyway. I have 22. Speaker, how many years do I left to pension? I have 22 years left to pension. So
you still have a lot left.
So he have done very well in terms of getting us access to those markets and things like that. But wisdom says to retreat is not cowardice. Yes. To retreat does not mean you surrender. And only a fool that doesn't change their opinion when they are presented with facts. This thing, I know Cabinet have taken a decision to say employ and do that. Prime Minister also. There is nothing wrong just to realize, maybe the climate is not okay. You have now, the ministerial statement has been made because a chairperson of the board resigned because he doesn't agree with the instruction that they were going to be done. So those things affect what they are there. If I go to court and litigate, I will have that chairperson as a respondent. Because he told the country that they are getting unlawful decisions. There is nothing wrong for you, Minister, to go to Cabinet and the Prime Minister and say, can we reconsider what we want to do? Yeah? You will do an advertisement and all. It's just very, very, I don't understand why government want to insist with that approach. There is nothing wrong. There are many decisions that this government have taken. The government have taken a decision in 1994 to have a small claims court. Cabinet decision. Cabinet have taken a decision to remove the red line. It has not. Because they always come back and say, oh, these are the technicalities. Why do you want to continue on this thing of the CEO of Meatco? What is going to happen? You are going to litigate. Namco, 6 million on Mulunga. You are going to litigate, get this young man employed, and somebody set aside his employment. just because you want to say we have taken a decision, everyone must respect cabinet, and all those things, so our decision must just be bulldozed. As I sit down, there is nothing wrong with reconsidering. So you get a new board, and then new board will be careerists who just want to, we will recruit him as what cabinet have said. I mean, this is a well-established man, a CEO of a big enterprises. At one point he was chairing, he was a CEO of, as colleagues. This man is saying,
made your point.
I cannot continue. Listen to him. Go back and just reflect. Government won't be weaker. In fact, government will even be stronger.
Okay, that one is not a question anymore, Honorable Ampanda. Now, I see there is Honorable Hengari, followed by Honorable Aupindi, followed by Honorable Kandorodu, then followed by Honorable Werikwa, and followed by Honorable Thomas. And I would like to remind all of us to be specific, because I don't want to stop anyone from asking. There should be questions, please, and they must be brief. Honorable Hengari.
I don't know why the Honorable Evelyn is trying to bully us in this house. But thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Perhaps mine is an extension of Honorable Ampanda's last point. Given what has happened, Honorable Minister, and of course in light with what has transpired at Meatco, to what extent, right, should cabinet directives influence the way that SOEs are run? And perhaps also, can we maybe make a determination, when is it an intervention, a government intervention, and when does it become an interference? Of course, bearing in mind the basic principles of corporate governance. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. That was very nice, very brief and to the point. Honorable Aupindi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I congratulate the Minister for the clarity that you have brought to us. It's a very important institution, and the sector you are leading is very, very important to us because it's one of the largest employer to our people. And I just want to understand, one thing must be clear before I put my question. Directors have fiduciary responsibilities. Shareholder is owner of the company. And at any time, there is a legal interventionist route that shareholder can intervene in the responsibility of the company, legally. So it wasn't really unusual for government to demand action in any company. And it should be very clear, when you are the owner, you have a path to intervene if you don't like the way the organization has been run. Having said that, Honorable Minister, in particular, I think the numbers of your suppliers, when it comes to black farmers and the new farmers, has been dwindling, if not below minimum. Obviously, because of liquidity, cash flow related issues, that does not give them a credit line for close to like 30 days. And I know there was a turnaround plan that the company is doing very, very well. How well is it going, Honorable Minister? Just for you to enlighten us on that. The other issues which I also like, and I want to find out in terms of its operational effectiveness, the issue of the feeders that were done away with, very, very good. Has that worked well in terms of the turnaround plan? The issues of the off-takers that have saved also millions of dollars for the company, because now the company can intervene directly into the market. How effective is that working? Lastly, I would like to look at, in particular, the European market, because I know Meatco is intervening in that market, and that's very, very good. It's a lucrative market. Is the company, as part of your turnaround plan, going into other African market? I know there was mention of a Ghanaian market, but in terms of the governance framework, I feel that maybe where you should look at in the future, and this is correct in many other companies, is that shareholder takes the decision, at cabinet level, and I compliment that, immediately call an urgent shareholders meeting so that you intervene legally. But in terms of the intervention, there is nothing unusual. You are the owner. I congratulate you and I thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Kandorodu.
Yeah.
Yes, no, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Honorable members, we are supposed to take a break, but I want to hear everybody's questions. The minister would respond quickly, and then we break for 15 minutes after that.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Minister, for coming up with a statement on Meatco. It's very important. The farmers and the nation was waiting for that. However, when you are going to respond, I want you to look at the issue of political interference and political intervention, more especially at the level of Meatco on the issue that was asked, the appointment of the CEO, where cabinet decide appoint this one to this company, and then to same cabinet to the other company, they must advertise. Now, you have created an expectations to these young men sitting at home, waiting to be appointed through either a wrong or a right decision. So I just wanted for you to clarify on the level of interference, the level of intervention when it comes to the situation that is in your jurisdictions. Furthermore, there was a report, I thought you would also look at it. 400 cattle were stolen at Meatco. I know you will quickly attach the value of 400 cattle than anybody else, stolen from Meatco, that we recently appropriated 200 million to bail out Meatco. On the other side, there is an exit. We give 200 million, 400 cattle are gone, unaccounted for. Maybe you will elaborate more. What happened? Where are they? Maybe so that we can get horses and get them back into the kraal to be slaughtered. The issue of Savannah beef competition with Meatco. We know we are in the free market system, but we want the government to come in there. How will you make sure that Meatco is not affected? The issue of employment creation, job security to those that are at Meatco now. The issue of international quotas to supply meat to Norway and to the European market. Where is the lifeline of Meatco with this Savannah competition that is just behind the door of Meatco? I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Werikwa. The new honorable members just take the floor when they see that their mics are flicking. The honorable members are reminded they should wait for the presiding officer to give them the floor. Yes, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Point well taken. The issue of Meatco is quite an interesting one, and of course it's one that is touching our hearts very closely. Of course, Honorable Amupanda have put it to say the National Agri Agenda doesn't exist. But when you look at the Namibian Meat Cooperation Act number 1 of 2004, in the objective and of course in the preamble will tell you that there exists what you call a national mandate as far as Meatco is concerned. That is the one that ties, in terms of cascading it down to that level, is the one that is taking Meatco and tying it to that very agenda, which is the mission and vision. So that's a point that I wanted to amplify from your end. Secondly, only other issue that is important, mandate is a sub of a vision and a mission of any institution. When you look at the strategic plan of any institution, let me take you through, maybe, Honorable Speaker, with your time. Every government institution have what you call a strategic plan. Strategic plans is actually a 5-year plan that is further cascaded down to an annual plan. In that very annual plan, each sector is given a responsibility. I don't want to take you through that, school is boring. Let me come back to Meatco. Honorable Speaker, Meatco, today the Republic of Namibia produces between 300,000 to 500,000 heads of cattle every year. Out of those cattle, 300,000 is exported on the hoof to South Africa. What does it do? It means that we are exporting employment opportunities to South Africa. And in that alone, I'm not responding to anything, I'm addressing myself. Speaker, I cannot allow that bullying, I can also bully back. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Speaker.
okay,
I must be protected.
So Honorable Member must briefly prelude the question, but come to the question.
It's a question.
Okay.
I'm having, it's actually the gist of a question. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much, Speaker. And I know last week I was not around, you were all running for free. Don't worry.
The Honorable Member is protected.
Thank you, Speaker, for protecting me.
Yes, please.
What the Honorable Members on the western side of the Isle must also understand is that when we talk of the agricultural sector, being the key sector in terms of driving the economy of our country, I'm a farmer myself, practically, not to talk from a theoretical point of view. It is now, the responsibility is that, Honorable Speaker, elaborated question. It is our responsibility as a country to ensure that the 300,000 heads of cattle that we export on the hoof to South Africa, we create capacity domestically. Honorable Kandorodu has spoken about what you call Savannah beef. My question then comes in terms of us preserving our employment opportunities, in terms of us ensuring that the employment that we export to South Africa is kept in Namibia, what should we do? Thus come in the point of saying that we need to create domestic capacity by actually strengthening the organizational functionality of Meatco, and through that, the turnaround strategy has been put through that very documentation that was done by Development Bank. The colleagues need to understand that. On top of that, the question to my honorable members, the Amupandas and the others. I'm just putting it
Honorable Ampanda, I showed the greatest flexibility.
The question is, Honorable Speaker, the question is that Honorable Amupanda, in promoting the consumption of dog meat, are you aware that in any way what the minister is talking about is us promoting what you call our beef? Our beef is both marketed domestically and internationally. Somehow I look into your submission and you say, Honorable Minister, the question I'm putting to the Honorable Minister is, agriculture contributing heavily to the GDP, miscalculated by my brother. The question is, Honorable Minister, what do we need to do as a country to ensure that the 300 heads of cattle that are being exported on the hoof to South Africa are actually preserved domestically? That is by creating capacity and ensure that our export standard abattoirs, the question is, our export standard abattoirs are actually strengthened and ensure that we consume that domestically. Secondly, a good point, the question is, when you look at beef pork, my question is to the minister. Honorable Minister, while supporting that very mandate of ensuring that we keep the livestock sector well-oiled and well-strengthened, the question is, people must be Honorable Speaker, allow this man is disturbing my peace. The honorable member is disturbing my peace. Meatco is a serious issue that requires all of us to give attention. Let us rise above the trivial part of this issue and ensure that we do not politicize the question of Meatco, because Meatco is carrying a serious mandate. And there is no way we can change our economy from the racial segregation. The question is, Honorable Speaker, we need to put our hands together to make sure that we really save Meatco as it carries a national mandate, and no private sector can do that. There's everything that is being done. Minister, go ahead and carry the function of ensuring that we strengthen Meatco through that very question of ensuring that we strengthen our country. Honorable Minister,
we have a time limit for questions that must be brief and to the point. And we have not more than 20 minutes to ask those questions when there are ministerial statements. I'm going to give the floor only to one person, who is Honorable Thomas. He was the last one. We have exhausted the time for questions after a ministerial statement. Honorable Thomas, please 3 minutes.
Tunashangala, it means...
Honorable member, please go ahead.
Yes. Tunashangala, it means thank you. Yes, I just want also to give some compliment to the Honorable Minister for the point putting here in this House. But I'm a little bit worried about how meat being transported from communal land to commercial land. As you know that there are business people there in the north, from Opoa, Bamboland, Kavango up to Katima. But when what I'm seeing there, I don't know whether it's kind of favoritism of political well-connected or something. There are those who are dealing with a meat, 24 hours meat. And these people who are having business there, businesses there, they are having also businesses here. But these people, they have got this transport, this car they call is a cooler transport, meat transport or something. How do you call this? And these people transported meat from the north. Cattle slaughtered there, taken to the cooler and cut it very well and pack it very well. But when these people are passing, the gate is there, the checkpoint, down here, coming from that side down here. Those police officers there, they don't even, because this car is well sealed, you don't know what is there inside. Police are not even asking what is there inside. This is something I know I have seen. Is not correct. I can even mention the name of the businesses. I know. But this time around I can save them. But my question is to you, Honorable Minister. Normal people, normal or disadvantaged people cannot bring even a dry biltong from there, down here. But those people are passing this, what you call is Oshivambo chicken. From there, you can go here, you will find them, Oshivambo chicken. They are coming from the north. There are poultry fabrics there, or these projects who are selling this Oshivambo chicken. They are coming here well sealed in their car, no search, no question, no license, nothing. But a normal person bringing a dry biltong, normal one, is confronted and that biltong is taken to the door. Now my question is there, does the policy say, are there only some well-connected politicians who can bring meat here but not everybody? Or how is these things work? Can you explain for us, Honorable Minister, so that we can now maybe also know where we stand now? Thank you. Submit.
Honorable members, now I'm no longer going to give the floor for any questions. I'm going to give the floor to the Minister, but before I do that, I would like to remind the members that in terms of Rule 85, Sub 1, there are time limits for all the items that are considered here. A member who is making a ministerial statement has 10 minutes to make a ministerial statement. A member who is asking a question on that ministerial statement has 3 minutes and only one chance. You cannot talk and come back later on. So once the minister has responded, I'm not going to entertain any more questions on this ministerial statement. We will go on break. Now the minister has the floor. No, Honorable, no. Honorable Minister.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a lot of questions have been asked. Some of them I will just answer them in a group. I will not answer each and every individual question. But just to start off with a point of the absence of a national agricultural agenda, I want to say that we have an agricultural policy of 2015, and that agricultural policy of 2015 is informed by a number of national documents, including the Vision 2030 as well as the national NDPs. And in the light of the recent developments, we are also going to review that policy in order to make sure that it is aligned to what the needs of today's are insofar as the agricultural industry is concerned. So I think it is correct to say that the mandate of Meatco is to add value to meat production. And in order for Meatco to add value to the meat, they have to buy that meat from farmers who are the livestock producers. And those livestock producers are located everywhere in the country, the south as well as the north, or as we call it, beyond the northern cordon fence and the south of the cordon fence. Yes. And insofar as the northern cordon fence cattle are concerned, that is why the government has located abattoir and has given the mandate to Meatco to operationalize those abattoir. And of course, we have also noted that it is important that we have a phase-in approach in order to provide quarantine facilities as well as feedlots to enable some of the cattle that, as you said quite rightly, the majority of the cattle are on the other side, to enable those cattle to come the other side of the cotton fence after they have made the necessary regulatory requirement insofar as sanitary requirements are concerned. So government, through Meatco, is fulfilling that mandate to also support the farmers on the other side of the cotton fence, while at the same time looking at strategies that can accelerate the integration of the beef industry across the country. Insofar as the issue of perceived cabinet intervention is concerned, and that is what has brought us where we are today. And quite rightly, as Honorable Alpindi has said, as a shareholder, government has the right to give certain directives to its entities, the public enterprises. And it was not only unique to Meatco, but equally to other public enterprises. Those directives were given. And this particular directive was linked to the turnaround strategy, of which was financed by the shareholder, which is Meatco. And the approval of that turnaround strategy and the financing thereof had certain conditions to be met, condition precedent, so to speak. My predecessor, when he came into the office, he wrote a letter to the board, and he said, we need to meet so that we can elaborate and we can have a conversation regarding this particular issue. And that's the meeting that we have been trying to convene ever since. And availability was problematic on both sides of the table, as I said earlier. So directives were given, and there was supposed to be a meeting where we were to sit now and elaborate and discuss the feasibility of those directives. And that has not taken place. So there has been no intervention directly into the governance of Meatco. We were to have that conversation. So I think that have answered the question of Honorable Hengari. And also to say maybe there is another day's conversation on the issue of the cabinet directive influencing the way enterprises are governed. I think we are all aware there is a Public Enterprises Governance Act that governs the operations of the public enterprises. The only intervention of the shareholder is to appoint the board and the chairperson and the deputy chairperson. Of course, the approval of the strategy and the approval of the business plan will then come back to the shareholder, and there will be a conversation about the feasibility. And sometimes that plan is twisted here and there based on the requirement of the shareholder. So there has been no intervention as such as it is perceived that there is intervention from the cabinet or from government as such. I think, Honorable Alpindi, thank you very much. You have actually helped me in clarifying the issue of perceived shareholder intervention or involvement, intervention in the affairs of public enterprises. Then there's a whole issue of what are we going to do to ensure that, and Honorable Weriko touched on that point, I think also Honorable Kandorolu also took that. I think the whole point is to ensure an integrated development of the cattle value chain. In order for us to stop the export of cattle on the hoofs, we need to have animal feed production. We have to make sure we have enough feedlots, because as a farmer, I have no capacity to hold winners. So I must offload those winners to somebody else who has a capacity either through feedlots, and in the absence of sufficient capacity of feedlots, that's where the export of winners also takes place. And obviously also the price of the winner, and also the time of payment. As a farmer who doesn't have a strong balance sheet, I want payment for the cattle that I sold within a reasonable time frame. So if I have two buyers, one is paying me within 30 days, and the other one within 120 days, obviously, it's clear where I will sell. But we need a coordinated approach. Once we have developed enough capacity in terms of feedlots, in terms of animal feed production, in terms of abattoirs, we have enough markets both internally and externally for our meat production. Within Africa, there are opportunities. We know Angola is looking for our beef. Ghana is looking for our beef. The US and China, we are not even able to meet those markets. So there are many opportunities, and therefore on the issue of Savannah, our interest is to secure the sustainability of Meatco. And I do believe that there is room for both players within the market. But our focus is on Meatco to ensure the sustainability, make sure that Meatco is able to meet its mandate. And other players can come and play in their segment of the market, and Meatco will play within its segment of its market. So, but to try and kill one entity in order to create another, that is not going to be very welcome and accepted to us as government.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, maybe I'm abusing my time, but I also had another statement. Very short,
okay,
very briefly.
Okay, can we rise for 15 minutes and then we come back?
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
brotherhood there. May we take our seats? Yes, we may please take our seats. Yes, before we rose for the break, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture indicated that she would like to make another ministerial statement. She now has the floor. Huh? Oh, the rules say only one statement.
Oh.
No, Anwar, no, I'm advised no. Oh, okay. The Honorable Minister, can you please take a seat?
Yes, thank you very much, Speaker. I want to refer you to Rule 85 under ministerial statements. It actually says Minister 10 minutes and only once. Thank you.
Yeah, no, on the issue, on that statement. Yes, it is not the same issue now. It's on another issue. Yes. Is that not so, Honorable Minister? This statement is no longer about Meatco, eh? No. Okay, that's a different one. Okay. Yes, you may now take the floor, Honorable Minister.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I am sure this one will be a matter of public interest, and you will allow me just to inform you officially that we have detected one case of rabies infection viral among the Cape Fair seals in Warfish Bay, along the lagoon in Warfish Bay. This was detected on the 13th of June, and unfortunately that seal succumbed to the rabies viral infection on the 14th of June, and the samples were taken, and they proved to be positive. And because this rabies is a serious, deadly viral infection, the Ministry wishes to inform the Honorable House and the public out there to be on the lookout when they are walking around the beach in either Swakopmund or Warfish Bay. Oh, okay. Now, as we know that rabies can be transferred from mammals to human beings, we consider it's important to alert the House of the signs of the virus that has been detected. Number one, if you see a seal exhibiting aggressive behavior, you should stay away from it, because it can even chase you, and it may even bite you. And once it bites you, the virus will be transferred to yourself. Another sign that you can expect to see is disorientation and uncoordinated movement. The third one is you see sign of strange voices coming from the seal, either barking or continuous vocal sounds.
Yes, you are protected, you are protected. You are protected. Yes, withdraw that one.
All right, honorable members, please allow me to finish on time.
Yes, please.
The fourth sign that you will see is excessive salivation, saliva coming out of the seal, infected seal, or paralysis. And sometimes they will become unresponsive. Now, this is not a common occurrence. I am informed that the first occurrence of this virus was detected in South Africa in June of last year, and this is the first one to be detected in Namibia. It's a very rare occurrence. It's the first. Even globally, it is not something that is often found in marine mammals. So I just wanted to rise to inform this Honorable House to be on the lookout. The ministry has already started a public awareness campaign of yesterday. We have sent out public notices, and we wish to appeal on the honorable members. Should you see a seal along the coast of Namibia, that you inform the ministerial official through the DVS as soon as possible. And with this information, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I will give an opportunity. Members would have only one chance to ask a question for not more than 3 minutes, and only once. Honorable Ampanda.
Thank you, Minister, for this important announcement. There is a seal factory, or there was, in Hentis Bay, or maybe it's a few kilometers with Hentis Bay there. And I would assume they harvest these seals. And when people visit Cape Cross, in those areas up there, those seals really come closer. For some reason, I've always stayed away from them, and they appear to be friendly. At one point, I even almost shot one of it when it coming close to me. A very short, with a pistol. No, I'm saying shot. I almost shot, and I didn't. Well, have you been there? So there are a lot that they would, if I imagine if you are saying there's funny movement, they can even chase you. Those, they could be easily 500 just outside roaming around. I would even assume if that's the issue, then there would need to be serious intervention. So my question is two questions. Firstly, what is going to happen? We're not asking you to go into scientific details, just to say that there's a program to either vaccinate or do whatever it is that's supposed to have happened. Two, what will happen to those factories that actually harvest, that trade in that factory in Hentis Bay? Because I hope there will be nobody who would want now to order medicine for on an emergency basis for the seals under your ministry. But just what intervention? We hear that, we acknowledge that, we appreciate that, but what are the practical interventions? The awareness is well noted. We'll do our best to also inform our people that we speak to. Just in those two areas, what's going to happen?
Thank you. Honorable Dingara.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much to the Minister for the information. And I think the Minister may not have finished, because are we so vulnerable, or is there prevention or vaccine, or what is that part, so that we can know whether can we be assisted or can those seals be assisted? Just that part, maybe the Minister have left it out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Aupindi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It's just a small question. And perhaps maybe this been a very serious issue, and I thank the Honorable Minister for informing this August House and to a larger extent the Namibian public. Being that the common known rabies that have been known generally, I've never heard of a seal rabies, but being that it's so vital and important, perhaps it will also be practically useful to hear from the Honorable Minister of Health to confirm whether the current treatment protocols in the market are the same as in treating rabies contracted from seals. Just to confirm those protocols, whether they are the same or not, there will be new treatment protocols. If they are the same, I think it would be wonderful. It would be like any other day in paradise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Hangula.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would also just like to, perhaps it's more of a suggestion rather than a question, that it is well known that one of the natural predators of seals are the jackals. And these jackals hunt the seals and they get in contact with the seals. So perhaps can we also look into focusing on the jackals, because these are the same jackals that go and try and hunt small livestock, especially in the coastal areas when they move inland. So if we can look into containing the possible spread from, if it is interspecies, if they can infect each other, so then we can also look into that. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Herunga.
Okay, thank you very much, Comrade Speaker. Honorable Minister, very simple question is that does this infection affect the fishing industry or not? Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Nekongo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Comrade Minister, I just wanted also, maybe my question are almost similar, but mine is more on the product. Some of our people make use of seal either for oil, and sometimes we also consume the meat. Maybe there you need also to highlight, also to sensitize our people not to consume, or maybe extracting the oil and to a certain extent omega-3 and so forth. Maybe just to highlight on that also to sensitize our people. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the list. I now give the floor to the Honorable Minister for a reply of not more than 5 minutes.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, indeed I was perhaps trying to go fast into the issues, but we have a program that we have embarked upon in terms of addressing the situation, and currently the infection is contained to the Wolfish Bay Lagoon area, and that is now being monitored by our DVS people. In terms of outbreak in animals of rabies, you normally will have a vaccination campaign, where be it in dogs or in cats. But in this case, as I say, it's the first time. So the DVS is looking at a possible regime to handle the issue so that it is contained. And therefore, the focus is on informing people around that area to stay away from the area and not to come closer to the seals. The second part of Professor Mpanda's question is whether, what measures will be taken, what will happen to the factory that is in Hendy's Bay or near Hendy's Bay. I'm aware of that factory, and given that currently the virus outbreak is in the Wolfish Bay Lagoon, I don't anticipate immediate impact on that particular factory. And I know that we have an overpopulation of the seals. The ministry has received a lot of proposals, which we welcome. There's also still capacity to set up more facilities. And as I speak, we are sitting with 2 proposals that we are looking at and encouraging value addition to our seals products. And the interest remains mainly in the Hendy's Bay area. So for now, we want to contain it to the Wolfish Bay Lagoon area. And as I said, so far it's only 1 seal that have exhibited these symptoms, and it has since died. And we are monitoring to see whether it will be widespread or localized. Insofar as, I think that also addresses the question that was asked by Honorable Dingara. Honorable Aupindi, to confirm the treatment protocols, what can be done. I'm not so sure at this stage what treatment protocols are being considered. And maybe our DVS department will develop a specific vaccine for this particular outbreak of the virus. I was also informed that they are learning from South Africa based on their experience of last year to see how we can deal with this particular issue. And then, Honorable Angula, thank you very much for your proposal. We'll definitely look at it. We'll communicate to the technical people so that they can also be on the lookout for jackals that may have eaten an infected seal and therefore exhibiting similar signs. In terms of whether or not this will affect the industry, Honorable Hairunga, at this stage it's very early to say whether or not it will affect the industry, but in the long term we'll be able to assess whether or not it has a broader impact on the industry. The current challenge that we are actually experiencing is that due to the overpopulation of seals, the seals are actually eating the fish and therefore contributing towards the reduction of the biomass. But therefore we need to come up with a sustainable proposal to harvest the seals, especially around the Cape Cross area. And then finally, Honorable Nekongo, yes, indeed, the campaign that I've started yesterday is aimed at sensitizing people to be aware of the outbreak and to make sure that they stay clear from the areas where the seals are also habitating, especially around Wolfish Bay. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I think this answers then the question that had been posed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Now we proceed to reports from the Committee of the Whole Assembly and consequential proceedings. None. Then orders of the day. The Secretary will read the order of the day.
Resumption of debate on Namibia's critical economic and cultural crisis. Over 80% of the music played on our radio stations is foreign.
When this Assembly adjourned on Wednesday, the 11th of June, 2025, the question before the Assembly was a motion by Honorable Hengari that the motion be referred to a parliamentary standing committee for further investigations and report back to this Assembly. Honorable Haikola adjourned the debate on behalf of Honorable Shitana, and Honorable Shitana now has the floor.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I would like to give my full support to this motion, and I would like also to call and plea to the House to work together in this motion. It is very important. It is one in a million of other activities, and I'm really appealing to the House to work together to this motion so that we can do these things once and for all. There's a situation of how we deal with things and we leave it there unfinished. I'm a person who likes things to be done. When I put my hand or my foot to there, it must be done. So there's a saying that says, politics is a dirty game. And I took it that politics is not a dirty game. Some of people who took part in politics, they are the dirty ones. And I don't want us, the 80th Parliament, August House, we must not be taken as such. We must do something, and we must do it for our generations. Honorable members, Namibia has proudly celebrated 35 years of independence, peace and democracy, a foundation for national prosperity. However, despite those advancements, the art and culture industry remain underfunded, underprotected, and undeveloped, especially in the matter of copyright and intellectual property rights. As a person who has been in that position, I have enjoyed that. I have that experience. As far as it concerns, I just want to show you something that I have this. This was my first album. This one. When I was still as a security officer. And I made a living through this. This was the second album. I made a living through this. This was the third album. I made a living through this. This was the fourth album. I made a living through this. This was the fifth album. I made a living. Number 6, I made a living.
So the honorable member is a superstar.
Number 7, this is number 8, number 9, and number 10. This is where we are now. So, as far as concerned, I have been contributing to the GDP of this country, and we have done a collective on to collect the data that how much the music industry, contributes to the okay, let's hold on. Then, as far as it's concerned, the music industry contributes 1.5 billion to the GDP. Yeah, it's through all the activities. So, as we are now moving to the new generation, we really need to set up a standard of how we can support our people to live through that like I have been. So, we have a suggestion. And as we are speaking, the organization which deals with loyalty in distribution, it's NASCAM. And the NASCAM used to receive 150 new works per month. They got 1,800 per year. New content that are done by Namibians. And if you calculate those ones, they will tell you that as a parliament, are we not supporting the content of our own people? With that number we receive per month, it's enough to be supported. And we have a problem of our local radios, they are only playing foreigners. Yeah. And we are giving that money out to the foreigners. So the proposal of 80%, I'm supporting it, and we must also give ourselves a full support to our musicians that are campaigning for us. We are giving those money out. Yeah. And there was an attempt of, we were having a union. That union was called NAMU. And it was never worked because it was set up under the political arm. And the politics is not something that always creates a successful business. So we must do away with politics if we are to set up a very good support of artists. We must do away with that. then we deal with our own people, because nothing on this earth was done by anyone who is not innovative. These are things that we must take it serious, because we are chasing out our people, and also we are really trying to kill their talents, and we are also sidelining their innovative, and we need to move. As I proceed, and I have to conclude, is that we come up with a very good solution. We don't criticize without giving a solution. I already spoke with Namibians who created a software that can help this country to capture the data that all Namibians must have registered with that international standard recording code that we are failing to have, because we did not have any international agreement with those big bodies that are setting up countries in the global market. So we have that software here, and we want the relevant ministry to work with us, then they can sort these things once and for all. So we are having this software that can monitor all the radios, whereby the artist can also have the app on his or her phone that says, okay, my song is being played well, my song is being played well. You can monitor, it plays twice, plays what, and you will know that this is the what? These are the number it plays, and this is the money I'm supposed to get. We have a problem of this law since independence. We are only sitting at $2 on loyalty when your song plays on the radios. $2. And you have now to divide that $2 with the organization that collects the loyalty, and all the author, composer, all the people involved in that song. You have now to divide it. So that's why the call for supporting our local content to be played on 8% must be a priority for all. So, as I conclude, I'm appealing your support. In this committee which is going to deal with this, we have experts in Namibia who are really good to help us to shape this one. And I also want to make it clear here that when people see me in Parliament, they think I'm only here for one mission of music. No, I'm a father. I'm a person with a lot of responsibility. I want these things to be done, and we move with others that need to be done. Before I'm a musician, I'm a Namibian. If Namibia has to go to war, I have to go.
100%.
So that I want to make it clear that I don't want to keep coming here on one thing. We must do this once and for all. As I'm now giving, we have BIPA who is dealing with copyrights. And those years I've been fighting with the copyrights. And when we were fighting, we come up with a solution of what should be done. Then we approach BIPA. We collect all the information, and they draft this. It's called the Draft Copy and the Related Rights Protection Bill as 14 September 2021. Is it now 5 years? So that's why I said, when I put my foot and my hand on something, it must be done. So these things, I don't know where it's stuck in the system of the government. The NASCAM CEO are saying it's with a minister. Last week I approached Honorable Ifete here, he doesn't know, I check on the system, it's not there. Please, I know BIPA is watching. Bring this bill to the House. We want this to be done
as soon as possible.
I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sitana, on your achievements. I didn't realize that we have a superstar in the House, but I must commend you. I must commend you most importantly on that comment that you are a Namibian first. You know, we are members of our political parties, our ethnic groups and so forth, after being Namibians first. Yeah? Very good. Any further discussions? Yes, Honorable Kantema.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Congratulations, Honorable Shitana. Honorable Speaker, in the absence of further contribution, I seek your indulgence on behalf of the Minister of Information, Communication and Technology to postpone the debate to allow her to make her contributions on the 24th of June on this matter.
Yeah, so the Prime Minister might know, Peter Tosh had an interview about music, and then he was saying music is psychology. If you don't know it, you can't feel it. If you can't feel it, you can't touch it. Maybe President Pohamba might have gotten it from Peter Tosh, and he added some other things about seeing and touching and... No, I never said those things. Yeah, so it's... I really just want to... Of course, the debate will eventually be agenda. I just wanted to add the preface about the importance of the art. Somewhere, somehow, I'm very happy with... We hear that the government is talking about the creatives in the creative industry at the level of rhetoric. And art is multifaceted. Yeah, art is also heritage. We need to be able to see and also study how other countries are actually operating as far as music is concerned. One time when we traveled in Europe and people are saying, we don't understand the South Africans. South Africans, when they are sad, they sing. Like at the funeral, somebody's dying, just dancing and singing. Because music is part of their DNA. It's also very important. Yeah, so I hope that when all is said and done, we are able to weave all these uncoordinated responses and interventions. And I really just hope that government is listening as far as the creatives are concerned. They used to be, and for a long time we have failed to do that, there used to be the numbers, for instance, the awards. And the numbers was originally an idea from people who were in the music industry, some of them who are in this house, and it was overtaken by MTC or some other people. And at one point they decided they are not interested anymore. Yeah? It's not Korah. So then they say that they are not interested anymore. And when they say they are not interested anymore, our country continued without recognizing these musicians. We shouldn't allow a situation like that. So if it's MTC or anybody else who's coming in, it must be a government program. And when we are saying a government program, we don't see it as a political program, it's a government, because whether a government is from a different party, the fact of the matter is that it remains a government. Yeah? So, and we have an interest in the government. So we hope when they are talking about the creatives, these new members that just came in now. So when the creatives come, and we are hoping, and this is the subtle message that it's also Honorable Shitana is also making, Honorable Hengari is also making, and the government is also saying about the creatives. And I really hope that once you get hold of that leg, it's not just at the level of the rhetoric. Take charge, coordinate, organize, link everybody together so that we have that ultimate... I'm looking forward, of course I know that the debate is going to be adjourned, but I'm looking forward to that participation. I may not necessarily be in those committees, but I'm hoping to contribute, and members of the public should also get an opportunity to come and contribute. And I hope, Speaker, we don't always have to, meet in the C, what? In the C1. Yeah, we can take it to some hall, and then the artists and all these people that are coming can do whatever contribution they can make, so that Parliament can go out there. And when you want to hear songs, and then they can also perform. But I'm imploring government, if my understanding of that conceptualization of that, no, this government is now interested in the creatives. In the creatives industry. We know there's no framework, but it's also multi-sectoral. It is in education, it is in youth, it is in ICT. So we shouldn't just look at copyright purely from the perspective of these technical aspects. You see on our phones now, on iTunes, if you want to play local music, a person must be registered, and I was hoping that Honorable Shitana would get time to deal with that aspect. It basically means that in order for your music to be on iTunes, on Spotify, no? Yeah, and all those places, in order for you to tag a song, Prime Minister, on your Instagram, it basically means, these are technical things, James. So it basically means that you must register as an artist. You must register with a South African. As an artist, you must register as a South African. Yeah. So Shitana refused to register. Yeah. So we need to also enable our artists to be able to register through those instruments. So it's really multi-sectoral, and I hope the motion is not interpreted to be purely on radio. That's perhaps the starting point, and we can contribute and expand. With that, I'm looking forward to that contribution. Thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. I wanted to just maybe contribute to Honorable Amupanda's statement around the Namibian Music Awards, and I think it's noteworthy for this August House, as well as for the general public, that the directorate responsible, which is our Arts and Culture Directorate at the Ministry, has received a significant increase in budget for this financial year. I think we are all also aware from the budget votes that took place some weeks ago that the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture shall bring the Music Awards back in this financial year. Also to note that, as mentioned, the creative industry is one of the 7 priority areas of the government of the day, the SWAPO-led government, and priority area number 5. But I just thought to mention that we have all intention and budget has been availed for the return of the Music Awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Right, Honorable Prime Minister.
Yeah, Comrade Speaker, it is postponed to next, 24th. I think what I needed to say, Comrade Prime Minister, honorable members, the music industry, those that must support the music industry are us, Namibians, the listeners. Those that play are DJs or whatever names they are given, the presenters. So therefore this appeal really, it has been oncoming for the longest. We have spoken about this for many times. So the appeal therefore, even when it goes to the parliamentary committee, etc., the elephant in the room are those who are selecting which music to play. Some will leave out the good message of Honorable Stana. They go to the other one that says, how low can you go? How low can you go? Yeah? No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because they will continue then to say the content of our music is not appealing. So therefore what I'm saying, Comrade Speaker, in every household, we must be proud of our own artists. When they are trying and doing their best, it's us to appreciate them. But to the extent that we want to prefer others then we are shooting ourselves in the foot. So therefore, the debate will come, but we must appeal on all those who are DJs effective immediately. There must be a grace period where they must start. Honorable Hengari can start going in the studio, and she can try to freestyle and sing, and maybe do the rapping, but really to appeal to our young people. They are the ones who are listening to this technology that they put in the ears, and the sort of music they want to download is music that is not here. It's music that is elsewhere. That is one. Secondly, then, is us, perhaps, as a government. We must also be restrictive. What is coming in, just like all other countries do, so that we are able to protect our own music industry. So therefore, the debate can go to the committees, but it is something that we can do even from here. The Ministry of Education, you are going to start already with NAMAS. But when it is NAMAS, sometimes we bring others from outside to come to NAMAS. And I don't know if us, Shitana, is also invited to go and participate in Los Angeles. So therefore, let's be jealous and protect our own, and then we are the customers of our own musicians. So on that basis, let's continue to do what the NAMAS will do. I know that Honorable Mpanda was showcasing his dancing skills here. So maybe he can be the one with the Honorable James. They can go and start opening the floor of the NAMAS when it comes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now I recognize Honorable Werikwa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We are dealing with a delicate issue of entertainment. And of course, Honorable Amupanda have coined a word. By then, Comrade Chief, you remember polytainment. And it is through that school that somehow it was misconstrued and somehow misinterpreted by some colleagues who actually, but anyway, be that as it may. I think our artists of the Republic are doing their level best. Our artist, Mr. Shitana, Honorable Shitana, I want to really say thank you very much. I understand this is you, but of course they say lieutenant here, so you are militarizing the music industry, but again, I think really I'm appreciating and supporting the 10 albums plus that you have produced, but we should know it's not only himself. Honorable Speaker, in our personal capacity, some of us have been supporting artists, and artists are actually surviving out of this music industry. Through thick and thin, for an artist to release an album, they need a studio. They would need somebody to finance those very copies that they have to produce as albums. We go in our own pockets and try to assist this. Thus, I'm taking it and putting it to my dear brother Dino to say that with that budget that you just have informed us, it will be appropriate that really we need to support our artists in terms of their startups. How do you start up? How do you come up with all these songs, and who actually should be the person that will be helping you? What harm will it do if government finance some of the studios where our artists are able to produce these albums of theirs for free? What harm will it do that we assist our artists for them to be loaded on international platforms where this music doesn't only get to be listened in the borders of Namibia, but it can extend beyond that? I was in one country I will not mention, and the dance that Honorable Mupanda was just displaying now, I know that me and him were at a certain place in the very odd hours. And that's where no, Speaker. Speaker, please protect me.
What is going on? What is going on between the two honorable members?
Honorable Speaker, okay. Honorable Speaker, I would like to inform the government watching at home, the wife, that indeed these were odd places, odd hours, but for good intentions. And that is provision. And I would like to say that our artists are doing their level best. You go to an extent where you invite an artist to go perform at an event at a village. They must hitchhike to go all the way there. The PA system to be used there, they actually have to rent it from somebody else to go and perform at that very event. the tents and all these things that we put there, in terms of their own protection, that's one part. The other part, let alone the issue of business management, the issues of financial management, them understanding how best to manage and govern themselves. So I'm saying, let us really try to amplify and strengthen our support towards the music industry. And let us promote local consumption. In this I'm saying, you people, Honorable Speaker, can you protect me from this pastor? Yes,
Honorable.
Now, as the budget is postponed, I know that there are volunteers, Honorable Amupanda, that Honorable Shitana, you are going to produce the next album. They are associated and of course featuring people that I want you to invite on. The Honorable April is a good pianist and he's playing trumpets all over in the churches. We can bring him on board and he can come and display his feat as well. So thank you very much. And Honorable Speaker, I soon submit. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Honorable. I now recognize Honorable Hangula.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. For those who paid attention to my maiden speech, you will have picked up that I too come from a very creative background, and I was the author of the blueprint that actually became the Namibian Music Awards. In fact, the name Namas was given by a very good friend of mine in business associate